Mag-base pa sana bukas? Shucks, wala pa akong nagagawa. Kailangan may topic. Kung saan ba? So, bale, topic. Tapos, wait lang. Guys, paano ba gagawin dito? Meron trip pa kayo? Hindi ako sure eh. Nanood kasi ako ng Netflix kanina. Ang ganda ng kingdom eh.
No.
Pwede bang lyrics na lang ng kanta? Nakabihis ako na ako. Masana ito ko ka.
2 hours later.
So, ayan, may topic na ako. Tapos, nagawin ko sa topic. Ano ba yung difference? Hindi ko na kaya.
Hello sa lahat ng students and teachers all around the world. It's me again, Teacher Jelly, ang inyong Teacherella Lika! Energy! To avoid the scenario that you just saw earlier, listen carefully, because today we're gonna talk about writing an essay. Energy! Writing is one of the macro skills that you need to practice and learn. And I know that most of you hate it. Alam ko yon because I hated it too when I was still studying because number one, it is sometimes overwhelming. Number two, you do not know how to begin. And number three, you are just too lazy to write. Our discussion for today will be divided into two parts. Part 1 will be about reviewing and going through the basic parts of essay. I know that you are very familiar with these ones, but it's not gonna hurt your butt to just have some review. And part 2, it will be about step-by-step process of writing it. It cannot be denied that inside your classroom you cannot really have much time to discuss about this. Your teacher is not given enough time to conduct many lessons and many meetings wherein he or she can discuss thoroughly this topic. And your teacher cannot really do one-on-one to all of you, although I know that your teacher would want to, so you will learn better. But because of the time restraints and because of the class size, your teacher cannot do it. So this is your chance to learn more and practice more. So I urge you, yes, not encourage, but urge you to write down notes. Magsulat ka naman, bes! Gigil mo ko eh. By the way, if you are new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe. So let's begin. We have 3 basic parts of an essay. Part 1, which is the first paragraph, is called the introduction, as you all know. Part 2 is the body, and part 3 is called the conclusion. Each part has its own subparts, and to tell you, knowing the subparts will really help you with regards to the flow of your essay. Hindi ka na mag-isip na, ano bang next? So, okay, may introduction ako. Ano isusulat ko doon? Knowing the subparts will better guide you in writing. So let's go to the first paragraph. Introduction contains subparts such as hook or opener, background of the topic, and thesis statement. So these are the 3 essential parts of your introductory paragraph. Next is the body paragraph. The body paragraph is the paragraph where you explain your thesis statement. So later I will tell you the formula that you can follow in writing your thesis statement. It's very easy. Next and lastly is the conclusion paragraph. In the conclusion paragraph, you just have to summarize your key points and highlight the main points that you have explained in the body paragraph. Next is to restate
No.
Next is the restatement of your thesis. So here you just need to reword your thesis statement that you have put in your introduction. And lastly is the closing line. So, for example, you wrote a question in your hook, in your introduction paragraph. In the closing line, you have to answer the question that you have posted. Now we are done with the basic parts and the subparts of an essay. Yes, I do know cooking. Yes, I do. Part 2, which is about the step-by-step process of writing an essay. Now let's begin with our step-by-step process of writing our essay. Step 1 is to write down questions. You might ask, why? Why do we have to write down questions? Well, writing down questions will narrow down the topic. I know that before writing, you have many thoughts in your head, you have many ideas, and you do not really know where to put your ideas, or should you even include all your ideas in your essay. And writing questions will help you focus on just one aspect of the given topic. So, right after writing down all the questions that you have in your head, you choose one question that you think you would like to focus on. So let's say the given topic is about social media. And as you know, social media is a very broad topic. So we have to narrow it down by starting to write questions related to social media. So let's say my first question is, what are the effects of social media to students? Number 2, how does social media affect one's view about societal issues? And number 3, my question is, how does social media platforms like, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter promote diversity, or, differences in beliefs or race or preferences, sexuality, things like that. So I have already written down 3 questions, at least 3 questions, and I need to choose just one, which I think and feel I would like to focus on. So that's also a way of narrowing down and just, have focused lens. So let's say I chose number 1, what are the effects of social media to students? But I still need to choose what kind of effects. So we have positive and negative. So let's say I would just like to stick to negative effects. So considerations in choosing your question is that question should be something that you can expand, you think, and you can justify. It's searchable and justifiable. So let's say my final question is, what are the negative effects of social media to students? Step 2 is to write down answers, of course. You need to brainstorm using graphic organizers. Graphic organizers are brainstorming techniques that will help you develop and connect ideas. So we have a bunch of brainstorming graphic organizers, and you can just search it on Google. But one of the easiest ones is the mind map or the mind web. So here we have a central circle. Inside the central circle, you need to write the main idea. Okay, so this is the main idea. Negative effects of social media, and inside the surrounding circles you need to write ideas and concepts which are all related to your central idea. So let's say over here I'm gonna write it's distractive. Sorry for my handwriting. Okay, distractive. What else? There's a lot of fake news. By the way, please check my video that I posted before this one. It's about how to protect yourself from fake news. What else? It affects your health. Let's say affects your health, and let's say it's making you like delay things, or procrastination. So the surrounding ideas doesn't really have to be complete sentences. It can be just a word or two. Just make sure that the surrounding ideas will be all related to your central idea. So I have here distractive, fake news, health, and procrastination. So let's go back to the question that we had earlier. What are the negative effects of social media to students? So we should keep in mind the answers that we have provided in our mind map. Distractive, health, procrastination, and fake news. So we need to make 3 sentences using those ideas. So let's start typing. For example, I'm gonna write it promotes procrastination. So we have already covered 1, procrastination. Next, it is affecting students' health. Okay, there you go. And lastly, it disseminates false information. Now we have covered fake news. Okay, so we are done writing our sentences. So now we have 3 sentences. Okay, and we are done with that. Yes. Next, step 3 is to make a thesis statement. Okay, so the 3 sentences that we just made earlier are really important, really essential in making our thesis statement. Thesis statement is 1 sentence which talks about the topic of your essay, your claim, and your points to prove your claim. Now let's learn the format that we need to follow in making our thesis statement. So here we just need to combine your answers earlier, these ones, into 1 single unified statement. Alright, so this is the format of our thesis statement. First, we need to have the topic plus the claim, our claim, and plus the 3 reasons. Those reasons will justify the claim. So let's make our thesis statement. Now we need to start with our topic. So what is our topic again? It's about social media. We're going to type social media. Now we're going to put our claim. Alright, so what is our claim? So based on the answer that we had earlier, it has negative effects. Okay, so we're going to say that social media negatively affects students as is like saying because, as it promotes procrastination. Next one, we have to do something about number 2 because number 2 is not parallel to number 1 and 3. What do we mean by parallel? We have to make sure that our verbs or and other parts of speech are of the same form to the rest of the parts of the sentence to make it balanced. Okay, so simply we have to make the verb in the sentence parallel to number 1 and 3. So number 1 and 3 we have promotes, disseminates, all verbs in present tense. So we just have to make it like that. So it affects students' health. So there you go. So social media negatively affects students as it promotes procrastination, worsens students' health, and lastly, disseminates false information. So now we have formulated our thesis statement. So let's see if we have followed the format. Topic, social media. Claim, negatively affects students. Also, please do not forget that your thesis statement should be debatable and arguable. It shouldn't be a fact. And 3 reasons. Reason number 1, promotes procrastination. Reason number 2, worsens students' health. And reason number 3, disseminates false information. There you go, we have created our thesis statement. I hope you were able to follow me. If you think I'm explaining too fast, please feel free to pause and, write down notes. Great job! Now we are down to step number 4. Make an outline. Making an outline is a way to plan your entire essay because outline will be the skeleton of your essay. It is going to help you with the structure, and once you made an outline, it's going to be your friend that you can refer back to every time you get lost in the process of writing. So here I have provided a sample of a very simple essay outline. So as you can see, we have the introduction, we have the parts that I have talked about before. So introduction with the subparts such as the hook, the background of the topic, and your thesis statement. Earlier, I have shown you the step-by-step process on how you can write a good thesis statement. Next is the body, wherein you need to explain all the points that you have included in your thesis statement. Remember that we need to explain 3 reasons that will justify our claim. And lastly, we have the conclusion. So here you need to highlight the key points that you have discussed in the body and just reword your thesis statement. By the way, we have many strategies on how you can create your hook or your opener for your introduction. You can actually start with a question, a quotation, a definition, statistics, a fact, a story. So we have many other strategies that you can choose from. Choose whatever that is best for your topic and whatever that is suitable for your essay. So after the hook, you need to just add a little bit more information about your topic. So with regards to our topic, which is about social media, we just need to add some other information about it. Maybe you can talk about how or when did social media boom, and what are some of the social media platforms that students are currently using, those kind of stuff. So after that, the last part of your introduction should be your thesis statement. So here you just need to write the thesis statement that we just made earlier. Now we go to the body of your essay. As I have mentioned earlier, in the body paragraph, you need to explain and give supporting details and evidence as to why did you have that claim. You have to justify your thesis statement. So here you just need to write again your first point, which is from your thesis statement, your second point, and your third point. It is very important to know that you can always go back to your thesis statement so you won't go out of track when writing your essay. In the body paragraph, you need to do a point-by-point explanation as to how social media promotes procrastination, how social media worsens students' health, how social media disseminates false information. Point by point, so it's very clear and it's structured. So in each point, you need to give examples and other supporting details, examples and other supporting details, examples and other supporting details. So in this part of your essay, this is where you can use your skill in searching and using Google or maybe articles from books that will support your claims and reasons from your thesis statement. Okay, please do not forget to always ask the question how. Alright? Also, it's very important to use transitional devices in the body paragraph.
In the body paragraph, please do not forget to use transitional devices because those words will make your sentences more cohesive and interrelated to each other.
So what are some examples of transitional devices? You can have first, next, then, firstly, secondly, lastly. Also, ito ba yun? as a result, hence, thus, and maybe I can just put a link in the description box where you can find more examples and list of transitional devices. Also, I have put in the description box a link to the file of the example outline, so you can just access that file, do modifications, and use the template to create your own outline. Lastly, we have the conclusion paragraph. So here you just need to highlight the key points that were mentioned in your body paragraph, maybe just 1 to 2 sentences. And then rewording of your thesis statement. So here you just have to restate your thesis, but it's not really copying the entire thesis statement that you have written on your introduction. You need to reword your thesis statement. So for example, here, undeniably, social media can be very harmful to students in many ways. As shown, it promotes procrastination, worsens students' health, and disseminates false information. So as you may have noticed, I still have the same ideas and concepts that we had in the thesis statement. I just need to, add some words and reword it. Alright? And lastly, you can opt to having a closing line. Closing line is just one powerful line that will, bring closure to your essay. If you feel that your thesis statement doesn't sound like a closing line, then you can add another line, just one sentence that will finally bring closure to your essay. It can be an answer to a question that you posted in your hook or introduction, or it could be a very powerful line that will leave an impression to your readers. And that's it. I hope you learned a lot from this step-by-step tutorial. I know it's really long.
That's all for today, everyone. Please do not forget to watch the rest of my videos. I'll see you again. Bye!